Hello, my name is Will. Welcome back to the Baldbookgeek. I am the host of this weird little corner of the internet. I also host the Viking Writer podcast, which is a, in theory, weekly podcast about writing that no one's listening to. So, hi. Probably my fault because people just don't like me. I have no luck with digital platforms. Maybe it's just because I don't have a personality. You know, my lukewarm booktubing career is always the prime example of that. So this is the Barking Bout book tags. I was tagged by Savvy. Savvy is a writer. She's many other things as well. She talks booktubing, writing, multi-level marketing stuff. I'm not so much into that, but I do love the writing videos. If you're a writer and you just want everything put into plain basic English, check out Savvy's channel. It's no BS. It's just Savvy talking about books. So, what are the questions of this tag? I got a bone to pick with you. Name a book that was good until it wasn't. Were you enjoying it and then the end was disappointing you? So on. You know what? I've never had that too much with books. Mainly manga visual things. Manga, films, anime. That kind of stuff tends to... I don't know, like the ending of Sword Art Online was pretty crap. The ending, I didn't like Attack on Titan because it had no story. It was fun, it was actiony, but I stopped enjoying it because there was no explanation in the manga, stuff like that. There's never been a book where I've gone, the ending sucks. I've had a few where the ending has not been great, but sometimes it's how you get to the ending that's more important than the ending. So that's a thing. That's a definite thing. Welcome home. Name a book or series that gives you that warm feeling of home. Now this one is very difficult because it's not so much the books, it's the memories around the books. For example, Lord of the Rings, His Dark Materials, Harry Potter. All three of those series have an element of something around them. Although I love them, there's also memories associated with them. People, travel, events, places I've been, people I've seen. There are countless books. Stephen King could be a home book for me. The Gunslinger. It's the memories around them. So much in the book. It's a really weird thing. Yeah, I've never quite been, oh, this book is nostalgic. I don't really have that. Although I do love things like Animorphs and the Vampire Diaries books and The Secret Circle. I have a real weakness for 1990s teen novels and kids books because I'm that geek. And I'm that generation as well. That's always fun. Just age myself horribly. I have a mic stand, by the way, and it's really annoying and I don't know where to put it. I'm sorry if it's distracting. Ruffin It. Name a book that has a strong travel element to it. His Dark Materials trilogy. This is both travel physically, as in the sense they go from across her world to other worlds, to our world. There's 3 novels, by the way. Northern Lights, The Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass. Americans will unfortunately know the first book as The Golden Compass, which is they're very censored in the US. But it's also character exploring, from her Lyra's sort of start as this bratty child to becoming a young woman, her sexual awakening, her awakening as a woman, the journey that she's been on, and all the characters around her. Will's journey is epic and big, and even the background characters and the villains like Mrs. Coulter, their journey, no one's black and white, nothing, the journey is big. I mean, they kill God at the end of this, so that says a lot, doesn't it? Marking your territory. Name a book or series that you always stand up for no matter what. Nevernight Chronicles. I adore these books. I like violent fantasy anyway. I like violent novels. I like violence. I like books. Kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed. Mother, I crave violence. I know, oh dear. Yeah, the first book isn't as well written, but they do predominantly get better. The characters become... There's a lot to this book, and the revenge plot, it's every book that seems to have come after this has tried to do what Nevernight has done, and a lot of books have copied the Nevernight formula. This did get mislabeled as YA, which I find hilarious. I adore Jay Kristoff. I think he's hilarious, and I definitely relate to Jay Kristoff on many levels. We're both cringy adults trying to be teenagers again. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I adore the Nevernight series. I always have done. I think they are a phenomenal series. And yeah, the first book has its problems, but they do get better. Diggin Holes, a book that has some secrets or a big plot twist to uncover. We're going down the literary fiction family for The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. This is also historical fiction. She is phenomenal. I absolutely adore Sarah Perry. I've had the great pleasure of seeing this woman speak. She's a great writer. So based on the medieval myth of the Essex Essex serpent. It's set at the turn of the century in a 1900s in a fake Essex seaside town. The serpent has shown up again. She's happy to be widowed. We'll put it that way. You get the feeling the marriage wasn't great. She has a son who may have autism. It's implied, although they didn't have the word for it then. And the cast of characters around it and who they are, the twists, the turns, the fact that this is a character study, there are no serpents. Spoilers, sweetie, spoilers. The plot twist to this is just good, and it keeps you on your toes as a reader. I like Sarah Payne, and her writing's got better. I mean, Melmoth was phenomenal, so there we go. Stand By Me. Name a book or series that portrays a long friendship between two characters. A loyal friendship, I should say. Oh, that's easy. Lord of the Rings. Come on. We have Hobbitses and Samwise and Merry and Pippin and, oh my god, every single character in that has a friendship and a story arc with everyone. It's beautiful and sweet and charming, and the book, the film, every media that's done Lord of the Rings, it's predominantly about relationships. And people read gay subtext into a lot of the stuff that happens. I'm sorry to disappoint you. There is no gay subtext. It's a band of brothers, warriors, soldiers almost, that have been thrown into the battle that they're not meant to be. It's a loyalty and a bond between men that very few people understand. So, Lord of the Rings in its entirety, and most of Tolkien's work. Tug of War, a book you have mixed feelings about. There have been a lot, if you watch my channel. It's not really a book, but there's sort of pseudo unofficial sequels that are like fan fiction sequels. You know, they're not even licensed by the estate holders, but they're kind of, they leave me a little cold. And I would probably say Descendant of the Crane. I really liked the setting, but the book was absolutely dire. The Poppy Wars was another. I really loved the setting. I didn't like any of the characters, and I didn't enjoy the story. It was boring. It was meh. And some people got unfairly dragged for having negative opinions of that book, but it just wasn't, to me anyway, it wasn't good. But I liked some of it, and that's true with many books that I read. Treats. A book that you're super excited about and will reward yourself for reading it. You know what, I'm going to be a geek. His Dark Materials and Lord of the Rings again, they're sort of my yearly reads. I read through those at least once a year. I do. Audiobook, physical, the BBC radio plays, I read through them or whatever at least yearly, because come on, you know, it's just part and parcel, I suppose. And I always feel rewarded, and I always treat myself to a bar of Galaxy for reading them. Americans won't know what that is. It's chocolate. Tag some other booktubers and share a little about your pets. Let's have some fun here. So, who do I tag and who do I talk about? So first thing first, I want to talk about my pets. I have a hamster called Coco. She is a Russian dwarf hamster who thinks she's a dog. I'm not kidding. She got out once. She comes to her name. I've never seen anyone so happy to sit on my foot and go, "Daddy, please put me in my house. I don't like it out here." And I also have two fish, Phineas and Ferb. They were rescues. I didn't name them. Kind of wish I had. They're just goldfish, but they're very pretty goldfish. They're fancy goldfish. But yeah, I'm a hamster daddy and goldfish person. I used to have a dog called Willow. I adored Willow. She was my 12th birthday present. She was a lurcher, half Alsatian, half greyhound. Beautiful animal. She was about, I want to say 15 when she had to be put to sleep because of cancer. And that was like literally 10 years ago. She was lovely. A big cuddle monster. She was such a well-natured, beautiful dog, and any loud bangs or sudden loud noises, you would end up with this giant dog on top of you, crushing you and cuddling you. I've also been a cat daddy. If you remember the early days of my channel, Ming Ming, who unfortunately isn't with us anymore. I miss all of my babies. I think that's the thing as a pet owner. They give you one of the best days of your life, but also one of the worst. I always thought about having another dog, but I don't know. It ties you down. So, where do we start? Who am I tagging? I didn't know. I'm really bad at tagging people because everyone I thought pretty much wanted to tag has been tagged, and then I've had to go through a different list, and then this. So I've picked 3 people. The Cerebral Hedonist, my favourite squid. I adore them. They are lovely and have talked me off a ledge many times. I'm also going to tag Joe's Reviews Journal. He's a really cool guy. Chilled, relaxed, talks about what he loves. Simples. And I'm going to tag Book Invasion. I've not tagged you in anything for ages. I adore Book Invasion. Scott is a great content creator, someone I have great respect for, and genuinely interesting too. So there we go. They're my free tags. Because everyone else I wanted to tag has been tagged already. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later.